YouTube? This your girl StephaneMacay. Welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here before, well, welcome to my channel. Once again, my name is StephaneMacay, and today we're talking about Love and Hip Hop Miami Season 2, Episode 2, and it's called Family Matters. Okay, that basically lets you know that we're going to be dealing with a whole bunch of family issues this episode, so just be prepared. Grab your tissues, y'all. Grab your tissues. We open up this episode where we see Trick and this boy in the kitchen cooking, and Trick tells us that's his son and how his son is a scholar, which is a very honorable thing. They cooking something. Trick always cooking something, so it really wasn't too far-fetched to see or believe. And then Gunplay comes over to Trick's house. I guess he said he hasn't had a home-cooked meal since Kiara left. So that was a fun moment to see two men, sitting over a home-cooked meal that one of the men cooked. And Gunplay then lets us know that his son is also on the honor roll getting straight A's, which is really great. Like, I commend young Black youth focusing in school. Those are all things I commend. So that was really good to hear. So once they done talking about their kids, then Trick touches on Trina, how Trina spazzed out at the performance. And then after that, we talk about Kiara and Gunplay's situationship. And once again, I will say that Gunplay does seem really sad that him and Kiara aren't together. So he is taking the breakup really bad. So then after that, we go into a scene with Spectacular. Spectacular, I was so happy to see him. He is definitely my favorite member of my favorite boy group of the Millennium era. If you don't know who Spectacular is, he's one of the 4 members of Pretty Ricky. He is the one that still looks attractive. That was shady. I should have shaved that to the end. But anyway, we see Spectacular, and he's currently living in LA. So we see a cameo from Little Fizz, who is from the group B2K. And then we see Ray J, who was auditioning to be a replacement member in B2K. So they're talking about like a boy group drama, and Spectacular discloses how there was an issue where Pleasure P and Baby Blue had a falling out in regards to, and it's really messing up the whole group dynamic. They talk about that, and then they talk about the fact that they talk about relationships. So apparently Spectacular is engaged. I don't know his fiance's name, but they're engaged to be married. And then he touches on how his family is not really a strong unit as of right now. Because when Pretty Ricky breaks up, basically his family breaks up too. Which is sad, but it's his reality. So that was a cute scene. Apparently the dynamic with his family and Pretty Ricky is a bit weird because, one, I believe Baby Blue, which is another member of Pretty Ricky, is one of his blood relatives, and then his father was their manager. So when things started going left with the group, it also started going left with his family. So that's just to clear that up. That's why he feels like when Pretty Ricky breaks up, his family breaks up as well. After that, we go to Bobby Lights. I love Bobby Lights, y'all. He looked crazy, though. He had on these fishnets under these basketball shorts, and I just really was not understanding the concept. But anyway, he was practicing for a performance that he has coming up. I don't know whether he has a set performance or whether he was just practicing a set that he would do at any and all future performances. But he was practicing, and of course, his best friend, Prince, was there. Now, I do want to touch on the fact that Prince does feel as if, like, he's getting personally ridiculed for being Bobby's friends. He feels like everyone's questioning his sexuality because, of course, a straight man can't be friends with a gay man, which isn't true at all. But, people are ignorant. So I just want to get that out the way so that when I get into the next part, you have a better understanding. So after in the midst of Bobby Lights, practicing for his performance, JoJo walks in. And JoJo's energy is already off when she walks through the door, but she's basically in like a pressing mode. Like, she's like, look, I met up with your friend Miami Tip, she's talking to Bobby, and she's basically saying that I'm fake because I keep talking about you. I keep talking to Prince about you, and like, where's this coming from? And Bobby Light's just basically like, look, like, you told me that Prince does not have good intentions in regards to being my friend. So, of course, I disclosed that information to Tip. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. And of course, Prince is taken aback. He's like, what you mean I don't have good intentions on being his friends? Like, I basically get ridiculed, made fun of, questioned for being his friend. So what would I gain out of faking a friendship or whatever? Which he definitely did have a leg to stand on. But at the same time, JoJo isn't the only person saying this. So I guess we'll see how that relationship progresses in the future. But in the midst of, Prince expressing himself like, why wouldn't I be a good friend to Bobby? Like, I've been a good friend to you, JoJo. And JoJo's like, no, you haven't been a good friend. And he's like, what are you talking about? We've been friends for years. And JoJo just basically is like, get him. So, Prince was walking towards JoJo, but he wasn't in her face. But JoJo starts maxing like, get out my face. Get out my face. Get out my face. Like, and she like steps forward and pushes him. And then security has to come in and break up. And then it's like, Prince starts going off. Like, once security stepped in and felt like they had to break it up, Prince starts going off. Like, he turned into the Hulk, girl. I don't know what that noise was that came out of me. But he's like going ballistic. Like, I wasn't in her face. I wasn't in her face. He's so mad. And they had to basically end that scene, okay? Because he was furious. So after that scene, we see Chaotic. I get frustrated every time I see that man. Okay, he just so unkept. But basically, he was outside, taking care of his house or whatever. Go inside the house, and Miami Tip comes over, and she's coming to get a wig placed on. I'm sorry, I would not have let them set me up. Love and Hip Hop set Miami Tip up. She looked crazy. I guess the girl with his Chaotic sister was like sewing, like braiding her hair into a beehive so she could sew the wig on. I don't know. I thought you just slid a wig on, but she was getting some braids or something, and she looked crazy. But they basically get to talking, and Chaotic touches on the fact that he has an older brother who's currently incarcerated, and how that pretty much is one of the main reasons why he's pursuing music so hard, because that was his brother's dream, and he wants to make his brother proud. And then he also talks about how he has a performance coming up. And Miami Tip then says, well, I got a surprise for you. I'm going to bring someone you're going to want to see. And he's like, who? And she's like, Joy. So apparently Miami Tip has a little crush on Joy. Now, I don't know how that's going to work out, because Chaotic has a little crush on Joy. Joy is Trick Daddy's ex-wife, and then Chaotic and Trick Daddy, I guess, they just met and have a cool relationship. So I want to know how Trick Daddy feel about her liking his ex-wife, because they just got divorced last season. So that ought to be interesting to keep up with. But then moving on, we see Trina and her boyfriend Ray, moving into a home together. And that's really nice. It just puts a smile on my face, because me and V just basically bought and moved into our home not too long ago. Like, it hasn't even been a year yet. So, that's a very blissful time, like building a home with someone you love. So that was nice. But then Trina starts talking about how she had like a meltdown at the performance or whatever, and she talked about it with her dude, and he just basically encourages her, to have one more conversation with Trick, to try to resolve things and move forward with the Trick and Trina project. And she's like, okay, I'll talk to him. So that's the end of that scene. So the very next scene, we see Amara La Negra and her friend JoJo. They're at like a dance class. I don't know whether it was a twerk class, because they was like bucking real hard. So they're at a class, and I guess after the class is over, they sit down and start talking. And like I say, I love when Amara and JoJo film together, because it comes across organic. Like, you could tell they're really kind of friends or whatever. So They're talking, and JoJo breaks down what happened at Amara's brunch. I mean, not Amara, Jesse's brunch, and how, and the accusations that Jesse made about Amara trying to talk to her nigga. Now, Amara, I didn't like the comment you made in regards to if I wanted her nigga. And JoJo was like, yeah, you would have her nigga. Like, that's not cool. That's not cute. I don't like that energy. Don't do that anymore, Amara. You're better than that. You don't want no man that's not yours. Period. You don't want no man that belongs to someone else. Stay humble. Stick to that mantra. It'll serve you well. Okay? Then they proceed to talk about how Bobby Lights is messy. When, in all actuality, the only person that I feel was being messy this season was JoJo. But whatever, they're talking about how Bobby's messy. And then after that, that's when JoJo starts to talk about how she feels like Amara La Negra and Jesse Wu should sit down and have a talk. Which, they should definitely have a conversation. But I know it's not going to go well because I've seen clips. So, anyway, I had seen clips before the episode came on, okay? Because apparently this is one of the larger fallouts of the entire season. So the fact that we're getting into that fallout so early in the season, it makes me wonder what they have else to offer. But whatever. So the next scene is of Miami Tip. Apparently she has a podcast. I don't know what stripping qualifies you to have a podcast, but she has a podcast, and she has Jesse Wu as a guest. And Jesse Wu is just basically like talking about her Instagram, her music. She has her sister there. And then as they cut the podcast off, that's when Jessie starts to tell Miami Tip about how she's supposed to be meeting up with Amara and JoJo, and we're going to talk about it. Now, this is an important part for me because last episode, I remember Jessie making a comment about how Amara La Negra's her current manager was Jesse Wu's manager, and that's not her manager anymore, but she referred to something regarding Julian, the manager, was giving Amara La Negra Jesse Wu's ideas, and I was trying to figure out what idea is it that he could have gave her. So apparently the Sister Talk brunch that we just saw last season, Amara La Negra has something similar to that. And that's something that Jillian, encouraged her to do. So he stole the Sister Talk concept from Jesse Wu and gave it to Amara. You would think that'd be some sort of breach of contract or something. But whatever. So, Jesse Wu's talking to Tip about how she's going to meet with her, and Tip is like, good luck, sis, that's a waste of time, but good luck, have a good little funky time. And that's basically how that ends. I mean, it was good to know what Jesse Wu's mindset was going into the meeting, but that scene could have been, child. But I did want to know what the concept was, so I'm glad they put that scene in there. Next, we see Spectacular again, and I love seeing him. So they could basically fill the episode with Spectacular scenes. But basically, he brings his son and his fiance to his to Baby Blue's house, and Spectacular's mom is there, and then Spectacular explains how when Spectacular's father got out of jail, I don't know what he was in jail for. Baby Blue went to live with the father, but Spectacular stayed with the mother. And so I don't know whether Baby Blue and Spectacular are brothers. I should probably research that, huh? Hold on. Okay, yeah, I was right. Spectacular and Baby Blue are brothers. So when the father came home from jail, Baby Blue went to live with the father, and apparently the father is like a real street dude, because he served time, and we see clips of him saying like it's not all, Spectacular saying it's not all about being street, and the father was like, I don't want to see that crying stuff. So I have the impression that Their father's a street dude. Baby Blue was raised by the father, which is why Baby Blue has goons, which we'll hear more about in the episode. And then Spectacular stayed with the mom. But when Spectacular's fiance and the mother start talking, the mother's like, I feel like you took him away to California. Like she took that man by gunpoint to a whole nother state. But she was not playing. She came out guns a-blazing at the fiance. But they diffused the situation. They went to have a conversation in the next room about the wedding. And then this is when Spectacular and Baby Blue start talking about, what happened in regards to Pretty Ricky and how they fell out most recently. So apparently they were doing a performance. After the performance, Pleasure P's friend had an after party at the friend's club. Baby Blue then brung some goons or his friends with him, and then something happened with Slickum, and Pleasure P stepped up to one of Baby Blue's friends to defend Slickum, and then I guess in an attempt to Baby Blue to defuse the situation, he was like, everybody chill, you need to chill, and Pleasure P didn't take too kindly to Baby Blue telling him to chill, or whatever, something like that, some macho BS, but basically they fell out behind some disrespect, I guess, and that's why the group isn't performing together currently. I mean, they are now because the Millennium Tour is coming up, but when they was filming, they were no longer performing together, so that's what they talk about. And that's the end of that scene, okay? The next scene, we see Chaotic's performance, and they didn't really play a lot of his music, so I couldn't really tell you how his sound is, and I don't care enough to look up his music, so we'll move past that. But you see him see Joy, and he's like blushing. He's still smitten by Joy. And Prince comes out and discloses to us that he's interested in doing music, and he called himself an artiste girl, and Chaotic cracked up. But what was laughable was what Miami Tip had on. She had on these, think Madonna, the comb bra, but think about like round and big. She looked stupid, okay? And she didn't have to wear that or nothing like that ever again. That was the end of that scene. I just wanted to speak on that damn stupid looking shirt. She looked stupid. Then we have Pretty Ricky have a sit down, and that's a lot of, I feel like Love and Hip Hop should be called sit downs and shake downs, because they do a whole bunch of sit downs. Everybody's always sitting down and having a talk. A Ponderosa. But anyway, they have a sit down, and Pleasure P, Baby Blue, they get to going back and forth, arguing about what happened in regards to Slickum and how the group basically fell apart. And Baby Blue makes a comment like, you here, ain't you? Like implying that if Baby Blue didn't step in, then Pleasure P would be somewhere dead. Pleasure P didn't take too kindly to that, because that was like a threat to his life. And then Spectacular steps out to calm down Pleasure P, and they come back, and child, basically Baby Blue finally is like, okay, we'll try your way, Spectacular, or whatever. After catching all this attitude, child, it was just terrible. I don't know if the Millennium Tour is going to last. I don't know. Because the way they fighting, I don't see it. But we'll see. So Trick and Trina meet at this restaurant. And they're supposed to be having a conversation about the Trick and Trina project. And Trina's expressing how she feels, and I feel like she was being really good about it. Like, she was really being an adult about it, really expressing her feelings. And then Trick kind of like was waving to people behind her, calling them over and stuff, not focusing on what she was talking about. Like, he didn't take it serious. And then Trina was like, you know what? I'm done. I refuse to keep doing this with you. We're done. There's no more Trick and Trina. You could be Trick and Trina. You could be Trick and Trina, okay? And she storms off, and that was the end of that. So I really want to see how, Trick and Trina, like, what's going to happen now? Is she going to take them bars she laid and put them on one of her own track? Trina did come up with her own project anyway, okay? I'm more interested in a Trina project than a Trick and Trina project, Okay, but whatever. There's no more trick-or-treating as of right now. And this is when we get to the climax of the episode. Jesse, Amara, and JoJo sit down and have a conversation. And first it starts off with just Jesse Wu and JoJo. They sitting down talking. It was real cordial, real nice, all smiles. Hey girl, you look cute. Da, da, da. And then Amara walks in. And Amara's like, hey, how are you doing? You know, nice to meet you. Nice to see you, whatever. And she was like, so what's the problem? And Jesse's Wu is like, the problem is you tried to come for my man. And Amara's like, how so? And she was like, you asked. So when Jesse Wu starts to talk about the conversation, I understand what would upset her, but I definitely wouldn't have jumped to she trying to take my man. Apparently, Amara and Jesse Wu's boyfriend was sitting down somewhere and the conversation was had like, do all men cheat? Have you ever cheated on Jesse? And it didn't get no further than that. And now, as a single woman, I understand asking a man that's in a relationship those questions. But I would be more receptive to it if you and Jesse Wu were friends. She knew who you were morally and ethically, or she was there. Then I would understand you asking her do these questions. But it does read inappropriate if Jesse Wu was not around and you're asking her boyfriend these questions. So Amara's like, okay, look, I apologize if what I said to your boyfriend made you uncomfortable. Now at this point, Jesse Wu was on like a trillion. She's like, you ain't made me uncomfortable. And Amara's like, yeah, I clearly made you uncomfortable. Like, I'm sorry. And Jesse was like, going off, girl, like being real nasty, okay? And she was like, Jesse was just being nasty. It's like she really was not there to resolve the situation or hear Amara out or receive an apology. She was there to chastise Amara. And I don't like when grown women do that. So, Amara overall, she has a really clean image, and you could see that she was trying to maintain her clean image. But JoJo was not having it. Like, she's like, Ma, you being rude. Now, mind you, JoJo is loyal to Amara for the most part, for what we've seen. If she ain't loyal to nobody, she's loyal to Amara. So she's like, you're being really rude, you're being real disrespectful, and JoJo is famous for aggressing a situation, like pushing, throwing a drink. So she throws a drink at Jesse Wu, and then Jesse Wu throws her drink back, and then security breaks them up. So Amara's just like standing there like, JoJo, like, she's talking to JoJo like, JoJo, what are you doing? Why would you throw a drink? Like, it's getting out of hand. Then Jesse Wu picks up a glass, throws it. It almost hits Amara. Then she picks up a glass bottle, throws it. And I think it did hit Amara because Amara's whole side was wet. And I do feel like Jesse threw the bottle. I don't know if I said that right. Jesse threw the bottle. And Jesse Wu, you're wrong. You're wrong. And this makes me not like you. You're new to the show, but you're doing so much. Especially for a dude you're not even still with. And, baby, they had to carry Jesse Wu out. So, that's the end of the episode. At this point, this is where I do my moment of shade. This is when I pick 3 moments from this episode and make shady little comments about it, a little fun shade. Because I'm not a shady person at all. So, is it just me or was chaotic outside with a lawnmower cutting grass that he didn't have? Like, he was mowing, but there was nothing to mow. Like, Miami in the hood of Miami, they don't even have grass for real. They drive up on the grass and stuff. So, they could have said that was orchestrated. Okay? Number 2 is, I don't know what is up with Miami, but they have so many people that just look high. Like, between Gunplay and Slickum, I don't know who's higher. They be high. And I know I'm not the only one that noticed that. Like, Slickum can't even formulate a sentence. He can't even, he's so high, he don't even talk. And Gunplay, the high is eating up his skin. It's bad, y'all. It's bad over there in Miami. I don't know whether it's something in the water or something, but Miami is crazy. And if they not high, something wrong. Something wrong. And the third shady moment is the fact that at this point, the Millennium Tour don't even need to pay for advertisement. They got Love and Hip Hop. They got everybody that's on the Millennium Tour is a cast member of Love and Hip Hop. Mona Scott Young is their advertisement. That's a good marketing ploy, actually. So, can't even be shady about that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching my video. If you like this video, like this video. If you like me, then subscribe. Don't be shy. You can comment down below. And I'll be sure to talk to you guys later. Bye.